I'm Bernice Abubedu. We're taking out to the Information Ministry where Aviation Minister Cecilia Dapaah is addressing the press.
Also serves as a service provider. Operational performance for the sector, and we start with air traffic statistics. Madam Chairperson, members of the media, the aviation sector has undergone tremendous growth, a reflection of the stable political, social, and economic atmosphere and prudent policies of His Excellency the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government. The number of international airlines operating in the country has increased from 35 to 38. And if I may update you, I believe 2 more have been informed just this morning, and 2 more have joined, with the inclusion of Air France, Mid Africa Aviation, and Air Namibia. A comparative analysis of traffic statistics between 2016 and 2017 indicates the following passenger numbers. The domestic passenger numbers recorded in 2017 was 483,261 passengers, as against 421,261 recorded in 2016. This shows a positive variance of 61,275 passengers, representing 14.5% compared to the same period in the previous year. The increase in the numbers is partly as a result of the abolishing of the 17.5% VAT on domestic airfares and other policy initiatives which were undertaken by the sector. At the end of the second quarter 2018, domestic passenger throughput stood at 178,007 passengers. International passenger throughput in 2017 showed an increase of 64,729 passengers, representing 3.71% compared to the previous year's figure of 1,746,699 passengers. This is as a result of the Africa World Airlines new route to Abuja and Monrovia, and the commencement of operations by Air France and Air Peace during the second quarter of 2017. By the end of the second quarter 2018, international passenger throughput stood at 916,087 passengers. Aircraft movement points. Aircraft movement, i.e. landing and takeoff, with respect to international aircraft increased from 24,247 in 2016 to 26,726 in 2017, showing an increase of 2,479, representing 10.22%. The positive variance is as a result of more flights operated by Kenya Airways and Medview Airlines. In addition, Africa World Airlines also increased its flight frequency from 2 to 3 times a day and further increased it from 3 to 4 times a day to Lagos. In addition, is the resumption of flights to KIA by Afrikia. Those who are old amongst us will remember Afrikia, after it was temporarily suspended. Furthermore, inauguration of the 5th President of the 4th Republic of Ghana, held on 7th January 2017, witnessed a surge in private aircraft that ferried presidents and other foreign dignitaries into the country. As at the second quarter of 2018, aircraft movement stood at 13,635 air freight in tonnage. Total air freight recorded in 2017 was 50,360 tons, compared to the recorded figure of 47,678 tons in 2016. This shows an increase of 2,682 tons, representing 5.6%. The positive variance was due to the increase in exports and imports of equipment, general goods, spare parts, pharmaceuticals, personal effects, machinery, and computer accessories, as well as goods. As at second quarter of 2018, total freight recorded is 26,519 tons. Madam Chairperson, members of the media, We are now on infrastructural developments. Infrastructure is very critical to the development of the aviation sector. It is in this vein that government has embarked on massive infrastructural development to improve all our airports and provide air navigation equipment. The Ghana Civil Aviation Authority has made tremendous strides towards achieving aviation safety and security. These achievements include the following: construction of a modern air navigation services center, which is currently ongoing at Kotoka International Airport. This is to provide state-of-the-art equipment for air navigation services and offices for air traffic controllers and engineers. The facility, when completed, will have the following systems: communications, air-to-ground, communications, ground-to-ground, search and rescue, surveillance, weather systems, aeronautical message handling systems, and traffic management coordination. The building will also have 6 air traffic control positions, which will allow for operators supervisory and emergency rescue control center. The project is 45% completed as of June 2018. The construction of the new Ghana Aviation Training Academy complex that has been completed. The new Ghana Aviation Training Academy, known as GATA complex building, has been completed. As I said, the training academy is in operation and providing aviation-related courses for aviation professionals in the sub-region. The facility contains simulator rooms, landing systems at Tamale and Kumasi airports. The instrument landing system in both airports have been provided to guide aircraft approaching and landing on the runway. In responding to air traffic management challenges associated with a tremendous increase in aircraft movements in the Accra Flight Information Region, known as the FIR, the Ministry, in collaboration with the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, installed 3 ultra-modern equipment. The newly installed equipment, which they were commissioned 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah. The newly installed equipment includes high-frequency radios, which provide controller pilot communications in the remote oceanic portions of our flight information region. State-of-the-art air traffic movement, known as ATM, system, which provides situational awareness to air traffic controller, and the very small aperture terminal, known as the VS80 system, which will enable Ghana extend the range of its voice communications between air traffic controllers and pilots. Madam Chairperson, the Ghana Airports Company Limited also embarked on a number of infrastructural projects to modernize our airports and make Ghana the preferred aviation hub in the West African sub-region. These include the design and construction of Terminal 3 building at the Kotoka International Airport, which was started in 2015. As part of government strategies to position Ghana as an aviation hub in the sub-region and to address congestion challenges at Terminal 2, the construction of a new terminal building was undertaken. The project has been completed and handed over and will be commissioned, God willing, on the 2nd of October 2018. The completed project has the following facilities: 5-floor level main terminal with total floor area of 48,000 square meters with associated terminal facilitation equipment and systems to handle 5 million passengers per annum. Peak passengers per hour of 1,250 can also be handled. There is a mezzanine floor, baggage handling and screening systems, 6 passenger boarding bridges, expandable to 8, commercially important persons lounge, car park area for 700 vehicles, construction of new road network to the facility. A number of simulation exercises are ongoing to test the equipment and facilities at the terminal, which is expected to go live on 1st September 2018. The phase 2 of the Kotoka International Airport development has been finished. The phase 3 of KIA development project is currently ongoing and it's about 98.7% complete. The project, when completed, will help address the problem of inadequate parking space at the airside during peak periods. It will also enhance aircraft movements on the airside. The works include the rehabilitation of taxiway and aprons pavements, supply and installation of taxiway AGL, fuel mains extension, rehabilitation and construction of airside drains, construction of fire station, a new fire station, construction of a southern apron at KIA for 8 wide-body aircraft is also ongoing. The construction of southern apron for 8 wide-body aircraft at the KIA is completed. This will bring the total number of parking bays to 22 to accommodate both medium and large aircraft. The first phase of the project has been completed. Works involved the expansion of the arrival hall. This is also talking about the phase 2, immigration and baggage claim areas to accommodate the increasing number of travelers at the airport. The second phase is currently ongoing and is 43.5% complete. This is in addition to what has been done earlier on. The scope of works includes relocation of customs at KIA Terminal 2 arrivals to the meters and greeters section. The construction of Kumasi Airport, that is the phase 2 of the project. As part of processes to transform the Kumasi Airport into an international airport, His Excellency the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo performed the soft cutting ceremony on 6 June 2018 for work to commence on the construction of the Ghana Kumasi Airport Phase 2 project. The scope of works involved the extension of the runway from the current 1,981 meters to 2,300 meters, and the construction of a new terminal building with a capacity to handle 1 million passengers per year and other ancillary works. The project objective, among others, is to position Kumasi, which is the largest commercial center in the central belt of Ghana, to complement the multimodal transport system comprising road, air, and rail to support the movement of people and goods to the middle and northern belts of the country. Construction of Tamale Airport, that is the phase 2 of the Tamale Airport project. In order to make Tamale Airport as an alternative to Kotoka International Airport, in addition to the Kumasi Airport, and also serve the Sahelian region, funding has been secured for the second phase of the project. Cabinet and parliamentary approvals have been obtained, whilst the commercial agreement is yet to be signed. Works involve the construction of a new terminal building of approximately 5,000 square meters, a multi-purpose facility which can also be used for hard purposes when the need arises, access roads, car park, and other airport facilities. Construction of Go Airport. That has been completed and is yet to be handed over to the Ghana Airports Company Limited. That is the completed works include construction of the 1,600-meter runway and taxi link, construction of terminal building, air traffic control tower, and all associated ancillary facilities, car park, etc. Construction of rescue firefighting station, construction of access road, and construction of perimeter fence. There has been the rehabilitation of the Wa Airport, and this is part of government's vision to open up the country and improve air transport connectivity across the country. The Wa Airport has been rehabilitated and ready for commercial operations. Other planned projects for the sector, Madam Chairperson, include maintenance, repair, and overhaul facility, probably at Tamale Airport because of the space available there, cargo and storage facilities at the same airport, multi-story car park at Kotoka International Airport, airport business center at Kotoka International Airport, and Aerotropolis at Ankasi, the Ashanti region. Otupo has been kind enough to allocate 26,000 acre land, and we are grateful to him. an airstrip in Cape Coast Central Region, another aerotropolis, bigger one at Nigo Pram Pram. The chiefs have been kind enough to also release 62,000 acre land. We are eternally grateful to them. And an airport at Sumbugu in the Upper East region. Challenges. Despite the interventions by government and its agencies, the aviation sector faces many challenges, and key among these are the inadequate funding to undertake more infrastructural projects within the sector, considering the high cost of financing aviation infrastructure. There's also this problem of payment of taxes on imported spare parts by domestic airlines. We are helping them to go through finance and cabinet and parliament to get this rectified. Encroachment on aviation lands, that's a very serious issue. Lands belonging to the Ghana Airports Company Limited and the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority are being encroached upon by individuals and private developers. The land issues include the laborious acquisition process and some payments of compensation. Another area to be considered also is the high price of jet fuel. The price of aviation fuel in Ghana compared to the sub-region apart from Nigeria is high. The country tends to lose out in terms of revenue as most airlines avoid refueling in Ghana. There's also the absence of the home-based carrier, which we believe nationally can help us, but we are on course to bring it into fruition. And the domestic airline operations, as we are all aware, there was this accident in November, which deprived the country of one of the domestic airlines doing business here, Starboard. It's now left with only Africa World Airlines, and this poses a great challenge to the domestic airline operations. And consequently, this affects the price of airfares due to lack of competition. And then finally, restoration of Ghana Civil Aviation to FAA Category 1 status. Ghana is working feverishly to obtain the FAA Category 1 status, which will allow airlines registered in Ghana to fly to the United States of America. The way forward, Madam Chairperson, for 2018 and beyond, and I'm glad the incoming minister is here to partake of all this knowledge. The ministry and its agencies have outlined the following key measures to address the above challenges and to improve the performance of the sector. The ministry will continue with the processes to establish the home-based carrier with private sector participation. This is one of the key priorities towards the achievement of the hub vision. In order for Ghana to be competitive within the sub-region, the ministry will continue to engage key stakeholders on issues related to the reduction of the price of aviation fuel and the removal of import duties on the importation of aircraft spare parts by domestic airline operators. The ministry will start processes for the development of an aviation sector master plan. Additionally, the ministry will create the enabling environment for private sector participation in the development of aviation infrastructure and service delivery. With this, we are looking at the Western Central airport that we are talking to stakeholders about before it goes to cabinet. To this end, new airline operators such as BabyJet Airlines, Unity Air, and DAC Aviation will soon commence domestic operations. The ministry will continue to seek other sustainable funding sources to finance infrastructure development and collaborate with the private sector to develop the aviation industry to continue to contribute immensely to the country's GDP. In order to address the challenges associated with encroachment on aviation lands, the ministry will continue to engage the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources with the support of Parliamentary Select Committee to perfect titles to the lands. The ministry will facilitate the rehabilitation and construction of airports, airstrips, and helipads in every region. The ministry, in collaboration with its agencies, will continue to develop airport infrastructure, attract new airlines, and operationalize Terminal 3, O, and WA airports. The ministry will build synergies between existing private aviation institutions and GATA to train aviation-related personnel to provide jobs for the teeming youth. Madam Chairperson, in conclusion, I'll say that I have within this period provided insights into the sector's activities. I hope that I've set a tone for interaction with the media. It is our expectation that with your support, we will be able to achieve the task we have set for ourselves towards the improvement of the aviation sector and the broad vision of His Excellency the President of our great republic. Thank you, and God bless us all.
This is the JoyNews channel on multi-TV, DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. Just gone by, you heard former Aviation Minister Cecilia Dapaah giving some updates on the aviation sector, what she's been able to achieve as her term as Aviation Minister and what the plans are moving forward. She also touched on a very somewhat delicate issue with regards to encroachment of aviation lands and said we're working together with other state agencies to ensure that land that has been earmarked for development for the aviation sector will not be encroached on. Just quickly, would expect that some questions will be asked and she would respond to them. But basically, that's been it. Former Aviation Minister Cecilia Dapaah giving account of her term as Aviation Minister and what the plans are for the sector. This is the JoyNews channel. I'm Bernice Abubedu. Do stay with us.